Let's replace the brake pads and rotors on this Lexus. Today we're working on a 2025 Lexus GX550 that has 5,000 miles on it, but it has a condition of excessive brake noise when braking. The noise is caused by faulty material in the front brake rotors, so in this video we'll walk through the process of replacing the front brake pads and rotors to eliminate the issue. First, we safely raise the vehicle and remove the front wheels to access the braking components. Before starting any brake work, make sure the vehicle is properly supported on a lift or jack stands and the wheels are removed safely. Once the wheels are off, we can clearly see the brake caliper, brake pads and brake rotors. At this stage, we can inspect the braking components. On this vehicle, the brake rotors might appear to be fine, however, because of the faulty material, they need to be replaced. And even though the brake pads may still have life left, when the brake rotor material is defective, the proper repair is to replace both the brake rotors and the brake pads together. Replacing both ensures a smooth braking and prevents the noise from returning. Here I'm removing the brake pads. First you need to remove the holding spring in the back, and then you can push the pins towards the outside. With that removed, we can now pull the brake pads from the caliper, and as you can see, they still show to be in near new condition. Next, we remove the brake caliper mounting bolts. On this case, they are 90mm bolts. Once the bolts are removed, the caliper is carefully lifted off the rotor. It's important not to let the caliper hang by the brake hose, so we support it using a hook or hanger. With the caliper out of the way, we can now remove the brake rotor. And we can use a 12mm bolt to push the brake rotor out. The old brake rotor is removed and the new parts are here. Now I need to compress the caliper pistons. This vehicle has a fixed caliper design which contains 4 pistons, so you need a special tool just like the one I'm using. I'll post the link if you wanna buy one. I bought this one from Amazon. It has worked pretty good on a lot of the calipers, either fixed or sliding, and even if you got Brembo brakes, this tool will compress it. Next, I'll do some cleaning inside the caliper. It's always very important to clean all the brake dust to make sure they are properly clean. On this vehicle it doesn't have much because it only has 5,000 miles, so once the cleaning is done, we will apply some anti-seize grease just so the brake pads slide in smoothly and don't make any noise. With that done, I will now clean the wheel hub where the new brake rotor will sit. And like I said, this vehicle doesn't have much rust or dirt, but still it's a good idea to make sure it is really clean. I'm using a wire brush with a grinder just to make sure This surface is very clean and doesn't have any debris. Once that is clean, we'll now get the new brake rotor. I have not opened the box yet, but I will do it right here in front of you. These brake rotors are not directional, so they don't have a left or right. They are both the same. They will work on both the passenger and driver side. We'll install the brake rotor and we will secure it with a lug nut. That way it doesn't want to fall off. Now I will grab the brake caliper and install it on the brake rotor. The camera angle zoomed in a little bit too much right now, but basically we just need to install the mounting bolts by hand, and then we'll proceed to drive them in with a electric ratchet and torque them to specifications. In this case, the torque will be 151 foot-pounds. I will now grab the torque wrench. This torque wrench is a Husky one from Home Depot. It's not very expensive, but it works very well. You heard that click, so they are both torque. And now I'll open the box for the brake pads. We will be installing a new shim kit. On this shim kit, 2 shims go on each brake pad. The first one that goes in is a slotted shim, and then the solid one goes on top. But before, the brake pad kit also comes with new grease, so that grease is applied on the slotted shim. Also, the brake pad design is different from the inside and outside brake pad. The inside brake pad contains a wear indicator, which is a manual wear indicator, just like you see on the right hand side over here, and the brake pad should go on the inside, not on the outside. I will now install the new brake pads inside the caliper. Just like we said, the inside has a manual mechanical wear sensor, and the outside one doesn't have one. You just install them just like that. And we also need to install the new hardware, which is the springs. We will be reusing the slide pins, so just make sure they are clean. So I will give them a quick wipe. And they are ready to go. For the slide pins, we install them from the outside to the inside. And the first anti-rotor springs goes on the bottom, just like that. And the second spring is the holding spring, which goes on the back. Each slide pin has a hole. That's where this spring mounts to, and it gets retained by the caliper on the middle. And the lower spring gets secured to the brake pad. The brake pad has two holes at the bottom, so that's where they get secured. Once it is installed, this is how it looks. I will now install the bolt for the caliper brake hose. And now it has two of them. And I install them with the impact gun. This don't necessarily go really tight, it's only 11 foot-pounds. We'll now remove the lug nut from the brake rotor, and this side is complete. We'll also do a quick wipe for the brake rotor. Some of the anti-seize got on the rotor, so I don't want any of that in the rotor, especially in the friction material. Now install the tire back on the vehicle, and I will do the exact same thing for the other side. I will also torque the tires to the specifications and go on a test drive after this work has been completed. So thank you for watching this video, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.